Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshadarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangam Nandayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna. Very happy to be with all of you this particular afternoon for our very special session on the Bhagavatam study circle. Today we are going to be continuing our discussion from first canto, 7th chapter, shloka number 9. I think we have to start 9, right? Okay. So we saw exactly what was the vision of Vyasadeva. What was the vision that Vyasadeva had by which he got an inspiration to write Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, the Bhagavatam inspiration came from Narad Muni by he quoting his own story of how he received the mercy of Lord, how he received the mercy of devotees, how he heard the Bhagavad Katha. That was there. Now we'll proceed ahead. Okay. Shri Shaunaka Uvacha Savai Nivritti Nirataha Sarvatro Pekshako Munehi Kasyava Brahatim Netam Matma Rama Samabhyasat. So here, the last verse spoke about how Vyasadeva, after hearing and writing Srimad Bhagavatam, he preached. He preached and he inspired Shukadeva Goswami, his son, that you should definitely study. So he taught Srimad Bhagavatam to his son. Unke bete ko padhaya. So immediately, as soon as the Shaunakadi Rishis heard that the Srimad Bhagavatam was heard by Vyasadeva's son, unne kaha Vyasadeva ka beta to special aadmi tha. Yes. They said, Savai Nivritti Nirataha. Nivritti Nirata means always engaged in liberated activities. He was never engaged in karma. He was always engaged in liberated activities. Sarvatra Upekshaha Munihi. He was completely Upekshaha. He was indifferent to anything. We all know that how Janak Maharaj had welcomed Shukadeva Goswami. We discussed this. That first time, Janak Maharaj दरवाजे पे वेलकम ही नहीं किया उसको. 3 दिन सुखदेव गोस्वामी stood. Nothing happened to him. In one sense, अपमान. Nothing happened. And then later on what happened to him? Later on, my lord, he was welcomed with such a huge pomp. Trumpets, bugles, drums, kettle drums, everything to welcome him. And again, Shukadeva Goswami was not impressed. He was given so much of samman, not impressed. Later on, he took the cup of ghee, and he circumambulated the kingdom of Janak Maharaj 3 times, and there were different women who were dancing. There was so much of wealth. He did not get a little bit distracted also. And finally, Janak Maharaj had kept a lump of sugar on the tongue of Shukadeva, and he didn't even salivate. Nothing happened. And after this, Janak Maharaj offered Dandot Pranam to Shukadeva Goswami and said that, thank you for teaching me self-control. Actually, Vyasadeva had written a letter that please teach my son Shukadeva sense control. But Janak said, I am the one who ended up learning sense control. So such was the power and ability of Shukadeva Goswami. So they were saying, Sarva Upeksha Muni. He is first of all liberated soul. His activities are all liberated activities. Another thing we see is Sarvatro Upeksha Muni. He is completely indifferent to the worldly things. Koi farak nahi padta unko. It doesn't matter which movie is released. He is not bothered. He's absolutely not bothered what new web series are releasing. He's not bothered which team is winning the World Cup. He is not bothered what war is going on. He's actually in liberated activities. He's least bothered about the worldly news. Kasyava brahati metam. Then what is the reason? Why? Atma Rama Sama Abhyasat. Abhyas karna, we say. Abhyas means study. So what was the need for this person, Atma Ram, such a self-satisfied person? A person who lived in his within. Atma means what? Self. Rama means to enjoy within oneself. So Atma Ram means a person whose pleasure comes from within. It is not external. He is not enjoying from things of this world. He's having pleasure from within his heart. So such an Atmaram person, Samabhyasad, why did he have to study all these things? Ye sab kyun padna pada unko? Why? So in one sense, why did he have to take the trouble to learn this Srimad Bhagavatam? Yes. So now this is a very, very interesting discussion. So before we proceed ahead, I'd like one of you to read the translation. Who's reading?
Shri
Shri
Shaunaka.
Shaun
Yes, please, you continue.
Shri Shaunaka asked Suta Goswami, Shri Shukadev Goswami was already on the path of self-realization, and thus he was pleased with his own self. So why did he take the trouble to undergo the study of such a vast literature?
Somebody is already liberated. Why such a person needs to take to this particular work? Because normally Atma Ramas, they are in their own world. They are in the inside world. Now, there is outer engineering, there is inner engineering. So he's an inside engineer, inner engineering. He absolutely has nothing to give and take with his world. And why is it that he took pains to study all these things? Yeah. So Prabhupada gives the answer, but we'll keep the answer suspense. We'll go ahead. So now comes the answer to the next question. Beautiful answer. Immediately, one question, one answer. Suta Goswami explains. Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgranta Pyurukrame Kurvanti Ahaitukim Bhaktim Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi. Now, before I explain the meaning of this verse, I would like to tell you that Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they had a debate. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was before a Mayavadi, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the Bhakta Shiromani. He was playing the role of a devotee. And both of them had a debate about this verse. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave 9 different interpretations of this verse. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave 18 different interpretations and defeated Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in the debate and establishing how Bhakti is supreme. So this sloka teaches that Bhakti and Bhagavan is of supreme interest even to liberated souls. Somebody has achieved liberation. Even they are interested in Krishna. That's what this verse explains. And later on, Sanatan Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were talking, and Sanatan Goswami appreciated, oh, Mahaprabhu, I've heard that you had a debate along with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya on this, and you defeated him by reciting 18 versions. Mahaprabhu said, what to speak of 18? I can give you more. And he gave totally 61 explanations, different. They're all recorded. Those explanations are recorded very nicely in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He gave 61 different explanations on this particular verse, establishing that even a liberated soul will be attracted to Krishna. That's what is the theme. So we'll analyze. One word is explained by Prabhupada very nicely. Yeah, see the different meaning. I'll just show you the purport, which contains different meanings. See? Atma Rama Munayaha Nirganta Api Cha Urukrama Kurvanti Ahetukim Bhaktim Ittam Bhuta Gunohari Hari. Ittam Bhuta Gunaha Hari. Yes, then Atma. How many meanings Atma has? Brahman, body, mind, endeavor, endurance, intelligence, habits. Munayaha. What all meanings Muni has? Thoughtful, grave and silent, ascetics, persistent, mendicants, sages, and saints. Nirgrantha, one who is liberated from nescience. This question came in our Bhakti Vaibhav exam. Yeah, this question had come. We had to write the exam. So we had to memorize all different meanings and present. It was a sure short question aane wala hai. So when we did the first canto 7th chapter, this was one of the questions that was asked to us. A sure short question that comes. What is this Nirgrantha? Nirgrantha means one who is liberated from avidya. One who has no connection with spiritual injection. That means he's freed from rules and regulations of Shastras. He need not follow the Vedas. He's beyond it. Capitalist. One who is penniless. Yes. Bhikari. He is also called as Nirgrantha. Uske paas kuch nahi hai. Then what is Ni? Ni means surely. Or Ni means counting. Ni means building. Ni means forbiddance. Then Urukrama. Krama means step. And Urukrama means like somebody like Vamana, whose steps are so wonderful that he can conquer the three worlds with his small steps, big steps also. Is Urukrama. Yes, so like that. Hetuhu, causal, particular cause. So with this, there is wonderful meaning given to this sloka. So different permutation and combination of these slokas, you can have different meanings. So that's what Prabhupada has given beautifully. Okay. So Sarvabhauma gave 8, Mahaprabhu gave 9, he gave 18, and then later on gave 61 more. Different than before. So Atma Ramascha Muniyo, the saints, the Munis were thoughtful people who are deriving pleasure in the self, which means they are liberated souls. Nirgranta api, they are free from mundane rules and regulations of this world. But if you see Urukrame, that Supreme Lord who's Urukrama, who performs marvelous activities, Kurvanti ahitukim bhaktin, they perform bhakti to such a Lord without any motivation. Why? Because Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi, they are supremely attracted to the wonderful qualities of Krishna. So normally if you see, the Atma Ramas are not attracted to anything external. They are not attracted to anyone or anything of this world. But they get attracted to Krishna. Any examples? Shukadev Goswami is the greatest example. The greatest example, because Shukadev Goswami, as soon as he walked, he came out of his mother. First of all, he is not coming out of his mother's womb at all. 16 years he stayed in mother's womb. Bahar aa nahi raha tha. Imagine, maa ki kya halat hui rahegi. What would have been the state of affairs of mother? He was not coming out. Yes. And then Krishna had to personally come and give him assurance. Shukadev, bahar aa jao, you will not be attacked by Maya because you are liberated soul. Then he came out. And as soon as he came out, he went to the forest. That's it. Mujhe yahan nahi rehna. I want to go to the forest. And Vyasdev kept chasing him. Putra, Putra, calling him. He went. And he kept running. He kept moving. In fact, there were some ladies who were taking bath, who were naked. When Shukadev passed by, they did not do anything. But when Vyasdev passed by, they immediately covered their body. And Vyasdev said, "Arey, main to dada pardada jaisa hu." Shukadev is a young boy. He's a young teenage boy. And you are supposed to cover body when he's going. You're covering body when I'm coming. Saying, see, we have a sixth sense. All women have a sixth sense. They told that the Shukadev, your son, doesn't know what is the difference between male and female also. Yes, he's a liberated soul. On the other hand, Vyasdev, you're also a great soul. But because you're in Grihastha ashram, you have to make a conscious distinguish between male and female. Stri और पुरुष के बीच में आपको difference करना पड़ता है. You have to do it. And that is why we covered our body. And like that, Shukadev went away. And finally, Shukadev saw some woodcutters singing a shloka. They were singing, Aho bakiyam stanakala putam jiggam sayapaya yadapya sadvi leve gatim datri muchitam tatonyam khamva dayalum sharanam vrajema. So they were reciting the shloka of how Krishna, he purified. Aho bakiyam stanakala putam. Baki is Putna. She had her breasts smeared with poison. And she had come with an intention for killing Krishna, for murdering Krishna by feeding him poison. But what did Krishna do? Krishna, he gave the poison to Shiva. He called Shiva, Shiv, tum poison le lo. Main kya lunga, main doodh le leta hu. So he took the milk and he took away her life also. He took her prana. And then what did he do? Actually, Putna in the end, Param Pujya Radhanath Maharaj says that while leaving, somehow Putna developed again desire to serve Krishna. And because that little desire to serve, her whole intention was to kill. She had very ghastly intention, evil intention. But when she took Krishna in her hands, I was today only hearing from Param Pujya Radhanath Maharaj, he said, as soon as she took Krishna in the hand, she developed desire, the seva karna chahti. That's all. This was the qualification. So we have a very interesting moral of the story. Kuch bhi karo, take Krishna in the hand. Take Bhagavatam in hand. Take Mala in the hand. Take mobile phone in the hand and join the Zoom class. आ जाओ बस. कुछ ना कुछ करो, just desire आ गया. थोड़ी बहुत इच्छा सेवा की आ जाएगी. Little bit service attitude will surely come. All we have to do is somehow take Krishna in our hands. In any form. Prasad, take Krishna in hand. So somehow or the other come in touch with Krishna. True, I don't come in good intention. My intentions are bad. I don't have favorable disposition towards Krishna. I don't have much faith. I'm having so many doubts. No problem. Some or the other come in touch with Krishna even for little time, and Krishna is so purifying. Yes, Krishna is so very purifying that he will give you the right desire even for a moment, and that momentary right desire is good enough for taking you back to God. You know why Kamsa got liberated? Kamsa got liberated because for little time he thought, उसको ऐसा लगा, अरे कृष्ण को मार नहीं सकते लगता है. That this thought of Krishna being invincible, this thought that Krishna being the God, this thought that Krishna being Sarva Shaktiman, this little bit thought he had for a moment, and thank you so much, he got liberated. So having a little bit of an incomplete conception of the complete person of Krishna, that itself is sufficient to liberate a person from this world. How wonderful, no? So that's what he did to Putna. He just delivered her. And what did he make her? He made her a nurse. She got the position of a nurse. I was recently hearing the position of nurse she got, but she could not become the immediate assistant of Yashoda Maiya. Assistant की assistant वैसे थोड़ा दूर हो गई. दूर क्यों हुई? Because of unfavorable intent. Yeah. Had she imagine, she became nurse. She got the dress of nurse. She got body of nurse. She got position of Dhatri. Lebe Gatim Dhatri Muchitam Toni. One of the mothers. Dhatri or nurse is one of the mothers. One's own mother, Brahman Patni, Raja Patni, that's a queen. Guru Patni, the wife of spiritual master. The earth, the cow, and nurse. These are the 7 mothers. Sapta Mata. This is there in the Shastras. Niti Shastras explain one has 7 mothers. So one of the 7 mothers, Krishna made her. Just because she carried Krishna in the hand. So Shukdev Goswami, moment he are, kiske baare mein baat kar rahe hain? Aho Bhakyam Stana Kalaku. Who's that person? He went and asked. And this Utkatas told, this person is Krishna. Acha, Krishna, where I can know more about him? He said, you can know more from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, where can I learn Srimad Bhagavatam? Are kya baat kar rahe ho? Your father only taught us Srimad Bhagavatam. Acha. So I will go back home. So he took about turn and went back home. Who? Shukdev Goswami. Why? Ittam bhuta guno harihi. He got uncontrollably attracted to the various qualities of Krishna. He couldn't resist. He got completely sold out to the qualities. Are kaun hai ye vyakti? So Shukdev is one example. Another example is 4 Kumaras. So 4 Kumaras, they were also Brahmavadis. So these 4 Kumaras, being Brahmavadis, they also developed a desire. Oh my God, kya kare? Humko dekhna hai Krishna. They were impersonalists. They were not offenders. They were impersonalists. So they also developed a desire that we somehow or the other want to go and see Krishna. And what happened? Tasya ravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjal kamishra tulasi makaranda vayo antargatasva vivarena chakara teshams shanshobha makshara jusham apichitta tanvo. A small wind blew, and the saffron dust particles from the lotus feet of Krishna entered into the nostrils of the 4 Kumaras. That's it. Their impersonal tendencies were finished, and they became devotees. They became wonderful devotees just by smelling the dust from the lotus feet of Krishna. The tulsi, the aroma of tulsi. That's it. So like this, the impersonalists also get attracted. You can read all scriptures. Ved pado, Puran pado, Upanishad pado, Itihas pado, Samhita pado. You will not find a single person who was a devotee who became impersonalist. एक भी example नहीं मिलेगा. Who did bhakti and became impersonalist. क्या बन गया? Sorry, मैं अभी थोड़ा मायावादी बन गया. क्यों क्या हुआ? ब्रह्म से ज्यादा आकर्षित है. Nobody will find. On the other hand, from scriptures you will find plenty of examples of how people who were initially Mayavadis, they became Vaishnavas. They became first class devotees. So these examples are ample and plenty of them. On the other hand, you will not find the other way around. क्या रे हम लोग जो है पहले भक्त थे, हरे कृष्णा जप करते थे, भक्तों का संग करते थे, प्रसाद खाते थे, अभी हम मायावादी बन गए. Now we are going to Himalayas to eat 1 carrot per day and sleep for 1.5 hours and tapasya करेंगे. ऐसा कोई नहीं है. There is nobody so ulta, the other effect. Right? So this shloka, what it explains, It explains that a person may be liberated, but still, Krishna's qualities are so attractive that one gets attracted. So that is the reason why Shukadev Goswami studied Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Translation. No? Okay. Somebody can read.
All different varieties of Atma Ramas, those who take pleasure in Atma or spirit self, especially those established on the path of self-realization, though freed from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the personality of Godhead. This means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls.
Yes. Thank you. So Krishna is all attractive. The word Krishna means all attractive. And one of the ways he attracts everyone, first of all, is beauty. Yes, through his beauty he attracts. He's so beautiful. That is Rupa. Then he attracts through gunas, his qualities. And he also attracts through Leela, his pastimes. And he even attracts through his names. Yes, through his holy name. When we go out on Harinam Sankirtan, many of them come out and look. They look out like this. Kaun hai? What they're doing? How are these people so happy? So they come out and they see. अरे इतने खुश कैसे हैं? क्या बोल रहे हैं ये लोग? They all want to find out. And some people come and even join us. They say, can we also come? Can we also? I said, of course, why not? Please come. So like that we take them. So that way what happens is everybody is enchanted by some or the other. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, or even Krishna's entourage. Devotees. Devotees of Krishna also are so attractive. Some of them may get attracted by the qualities of devotees. By just looking at the devotees to see how these devotees are so happy people. Just by looking at the bliss that the devotees are experiencing, the ananda they're experiencing, through that way also the devotees can become, that the devotees can attract. So the devotees also become a medium to attract. Many of them got attracted by Prabhupada's personality. I'll tell you one past time. There was a person who was watching Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was eating orange. So he was eating the orange. And after eating orange, those of you who eat an orange, क्या होता है उसमें seed होते हैं. So Srila Prabhupada was sitting almost 10 feet away from dustbin. He was spitting. And correctly it was going and falling in the basket. And this person was watching. एक भी shot miss नहीं हुआ Prabhupada का. He took 100%, all shots fell inside. Then he went to devotees and said, your Guru Maharaj has extraordinary power. I'm going to surrender my life. Why? Because he never misses one shot also. So some people may get attracted to Krishna consciousness like that. Another basketball player got attracted to Prabhupada. How? Because Prabhupada was jumping in the kirtans. He was doing dancing kirtan. He was doing kirtan and he was jumping. And the basketball player said, I am a basketball player. I'm almost close to 7 feet. And the Swamiji is jumping higher than me also. I got tired. And these people are not even getting tired. So impressed. So through that way, by jumping, by spitting, by different ways. Some scientist, T.D. Singh, Dr. T.D. Singh, how he got attracted to Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj? How did he get attracted to Prabhupada? Scientific knowledge. The best of scientists from US had come. All the best of scientists, they had come for there's a video clip. And there Prabhupada is smashing the scientists. They're all speaking atheistically. And Prabhupada says, and who is God? They were saying, why is the need of God? Something like that. And Prabhupada said, Krishna will come in the form of death and take everything away from you. Then you will see Krishna. And that fellow, dar gaya ho ekdam. So Prabhupada literally smashed. And he could give answer to everything. Press reporters, he was everywhere. He was in the radios, he was in the newspaper, he was on the television. People from everywhere were coming to Swamiji, very attracted by his personal demeanor, his charisma, his enthusiasm, and of course, no doubt, his devotion to Krishna and his Guru. So like that, many of them, so devotees also attract. And even Prabhupada's disciples were very attracted. Yes, Prabhupada called them dancing white elephant. Prabhupada knew exactly where to bring them. So he brought all his disciples to India. And people of Mumbai in the Cross Maidan Festival 1971, they were all watching like this. American men with tilak, dhoti, kurta, beating the mridanga and dancing. Matajis with sari dancing. And they were like, huh? They were all stunned. So through his disciples, he attracted many of them to Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada called his disciples as dancing white elephants. So here are my dancing white elephants. Dancing white elephants. Yes, because they were huge. Americans means huge. Their bodies were huge and they were also very amazing. Hare Krishna. Next. We read this? Okay, it's done. Next sloka. Harir Gunakshiptamatir Bhagavan Badarayanihi Adyagan Mahadakyanam Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha. Okay. What is spoken in this sloka? Harer, Hari ki, usko Harer bolte hain. Krishner means of Krishna. So Harer, Guna, transcendental qualities. Akshiptamanaha, being absorbed in the gunas of Lord. And this is actually something we can be absorbed in very nicely. What are the different qualities of Krishna? That is why our Rupa Goswami Pad has enumerated 64 different wonderful qualities of Krishna. And one quality is so amazing. We should all read that section from NOD. It's a must. So we can all be absorbed in qualities of Krishna. And even when you see some qualities in devotees or even in karmis, for that matter, you can understand very clearly this is Krishna's quality which is being reflected on this person. ये Krishna की quality है, but this is being reflected on this particular person. ये उनका नहीं है. This all we are borrowed plumes. How many of you seen some fancy dress competition where a boy or a girl becomes peacock and comes? You seen peacock? वो तो पक्का फर्स्ट जीतेगा. इतना मेहनत करके peacock बनना पड़ता है. But are those his feathers or her feathers? No, they are borrowed plumes. What are they? Borrowed plumes. They are all taken, the feathers which are borrowed from the peacock. So similarly, whatever qualities we have, whatever gunas we have, they are ultimately Krishna's qualities. And we are only borrowing those plumes. So it is often said, don't be puffed up and proud of the borrowed plumes. Never be puffed up with the borrowed plumes. So Harer Gunakshitam Matir, Bhagavan Badarayani. So the son of Vyasdev, when he heard Krishna's qualities, he got completely absorbed. His mind was simply absorbed. Hare Gunakshipta Matir, Bhagavan Badarayani. So Badarayani is the son of Vyasa. And thus what he did? Adhyagan. Adhyagan matlab adhyayan karna. Adhyayan karna, studied. Mahadakhyanam. Akhyanam means narration. Ajamila upakhyanam. Yes. Puranjana upakhyanam. Upakhyanam means small narration. Akhyanam means big narration. Upa means small, usually. Nanda is big. Upananda is small Nanda. Right? So similarly, so this Mahadakhyanam is Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a great narration. Nityam, every day. Roj, Nityam Bhagavat Seva bolte hai na? Every day. So every day he regularly studied Bhagavatam. See, Shukdev Goswami could become such a nice reciter of Bhagavatam because he every day studied Srimad Bhagavatam seriously. Roj. Recently, one of my friend had his second son, a second child. He has a big son, a big daughter, and a small child. So before I had gone to his home to do kirtan recently, so he was telling me, Prabhuji, my wife is expecting, and I want this time. I have one daughter now. I'm praying to Krishna. I have one son. I said, so what your son? What do you want to make your son? So he said, I want to make my son a reciter of Bhagavatam, who will go and preach Bhagavatam throughout the world. I want to have a son like that. And now on Nityanand Trayodasi, can you imagine? On Nityanand Trayodasi, he had a son. He got a son on Nityanand Trayodasi, and now he's fixed up. So when I told this to His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu, he said, this is very ideal. That's why. So every grihastha should encourage the children to become preachers of Bhagavatam. Son or daughter, doesn't matter. They should become preachers of Bhagavatam. They should be speaking Bhagavatam. So that's what Vyasdev trained his son. Vyasdev had only one son, Shukadev. But what kind of son? Yes. Adhyagan. Serious. Nityam Adhyagan. This is an inspiration we should take from Shukdev Goswami to study Bhagavatam every day. To study Bhagavatam every day, you'll be able to present and represent Bhagavatam. Both. Presentation and representation. Both of it will happen very nicely. Yes. And what is Bhagavatam? Vishnu Janapriyaha, very, very dear to devotees. Hari Bol, Jai. There is a direct message which says, I also told my mentor that I want to make my son brahmachari. Hari Bol. Please give it to us. We'll accept. Very good. Very nice. Many of them say. So one of my student has three sons. I told you have to give minimum 2. Yes, to do. And Prabhupada used to ask openly. Prabhupada used to, when he used to meet Indians, he used to see the Indians and ask, oh, okay, how many sons you have? He'll ask. अच्छा 2 बेटे हैं, ठीक है, 1 दे दो हमको. Prabhupada was like a child. He would ask, 1 दे दो. 1 son you can give. Only thing is, nowadays, what happens is parents want the son to join, son doesn't want to join. And the sons who want to join, parents don't allow to join. Kya kare? What was the name of Shukadev Goswami's mother? Yes, you can type in Google and find out. Vyasdev's wife, Shukadev's mother. I don't know. Google will tell you. Yes, I will send him to you. One more. Ek aur aaya hai. We are hoping one more Krishna conscious child. Nice. And Shamagori Mataji also, Prabhuji, please take my son. So I have to come and take your son from North Carolina. I have to come there to Charlotte and take your son. I'll come. Worth it. I'll come. Definitely. Oh, great. Nice. Vichha. This is very nice desire. So we should inspire our children to become preachers of Bhagavatam. Why? Because Bhagavatam is Vishnu Janapriya. Okay, so there are some more comments. I danced Western form, which was easy for me. But when I tried classical, I had same attitude that I can learn easily, but could not learn at all. Finally, I prayed to Lord, then was able to successfully finish the dance. It was Krishna's song actually. Very nice. Such kind of dances are very, very, very natural. That is something we perform in the spiritual world. Meditation on Krishna's pastimes. Actually, through dances also, dances are very attractive. There is the Dasavatar. So there was one Vittal Prabhu we had. He did amazing Dasavatar. He showed very wonderfully. Dasavatar Stotram of Jayadev Goswami. And Mohini Atam. How Mohini tricks the Asuras. Yes. Vyasdev's wife is Vatika. Thank you. Vijay Prabhu and Smita Gurudasani Mataji is saying, please take Ayush and Ballu both. Arey wow. Amazing. Okay. Nice. So I have noted down this. I don't forget such things easily. Hari Bol. So wonderful. So Nityam Vishnu Janapriya. So we should study Bhagavatam every day. Then we will preach nicely. Yes. Somebody can read?
Srila Sukadev Goswami, son of Srila Vyasadeva, was not only transcendently powerful, he was also very dear to the devotees of the Lord. Thus, he underwent the study of this great narration, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah. Now, Bhagavatam was described, and there's a little bit of Priyanshu Pro. Now everybody is giving their son. Priyanshu Pro is telling, please take Anshu. At least we'll get some Shanti after 20 years. उसको पढ़ाओ, बड़ा करो, फिर ले लेंगे. Do your part and then we'll take. Get some Shanti. And Anshu doesn't have to shift much. उसको थोड़ा एक building बस change करना है और कुछ नहीं. Nice, thank you. And your wife also told the same thing. प्रिया माता जी को पूछ लिया मैंने पहले ही. टिटोल हाँ ले लो बस, कोई बात नहीं. Okay, so now there was previously spoken about the person who's the two heroes, the hearer and the listener of Bhagavatam. Now here is the listener of Bhagavatam. There's something spoken about him also. Parikshito atha Rajarshir Janma Karma Vilapanam. So this Rajarishi Parikshit, that means he is actually a king, Raja, but at the same time he had very saintly qualities. Now this is a very rare combination. It's a very rare combination to have Brahmanical as well as Kshatriya qualities. Such a person can be a first-class leader. This is the quality actually we look for. Somebody who's only Kshatriya will be able to do nice management. Somebody who's a good Brahmana will be able to do nice preaching. But somebody who's Rajarishi, having a blend of both Kshatriya and Brahmanical qualities, will be able to be a very wonderful community leader. Because he knows both the Rajarishi. Yes. Now this is a very rare combination, very rare. So Parikshit Maharaj is like that. Parikshito atha Rajarshir. What is special about Parikshit? Janma, his birth is special. Yes. Sashikant Prabhu saying, take part also. This is the best class. I will go to save the chat. Sabse lene walo mein. Parth told me one thing. I asked Parth, Aega mere saath. He said, Prabhuji, whether I am brahmachari or grahastha, I will always be with you. That much he has promised. मैं आपको कभी छोड़ूंगा नहीं. Very nice. Okay. So that is what he shared. So then there is no problem. Yes. Janma is special. Why? Because in his birth, when he was born, he was saved by Krishna himself. That's why another name of Parikshit is Vishnu Rat. And as soon as he saw Krishna for a long time, I was recently hearing, actually what had happened was Krishna, what he did was, he did not rescue Parikshit Maharaj. No. Draunishta Viplushta Idammadangam. His body was destroyed. It was destroyed. He revived it. So Krishna revived his body. He did not save. And then he destroyed the Brahmastra. And then Krishna did not leave him. Beta, or be many more troubles can come to you, right? So I will remain here. How beautifully he was, Krishna dealt with Parikshit Maharaj. So he did not just come and beat the Ashwatthama's Brahmastra and go away. No. Caring means what? Till the time you come out, I'll be with you. And as Krishna stayed with him in the womb of his mother, Parikshit kept looking at this beautiful man. Oh wow, beautiful form. And as soon as he came out, he missed him. Chale gaye. I'm missing. Aisa nahi. Then he started, wo Krishna hai kya? Wo Krishna hai kya? He started examining everyone. He started checking, where is that Krishna? Where is that beautiful person? Where is he? Where is he? Nahi, mujhe dekhna hai unko. And so because he examined everyone, ye Krishna hai kya? Ye Krishna hai kya? He became Parikshit, jo sabki pariksha leta hai. So this is some more details that I heard. That Krishna stayed with him till the time he came out of his mother's womb. Udhar hi the Bhagwan. So Janma is special. Second is, Karma is also special. That is going to come in the chapter. How हम लोगों को कौन परेशान कर रहा है? Who's troubling us? कौन सताता है हमको? माया के एक एजेंट है. माया is paid, very nice paid agent. Mind तो है ही, but Kali is troubling all of us. And if you see Kali in the Vaishnava bhajans, is called as Kukur. Dog of Kali, the dog-like personality of Kali. Duryodhan was Kali personified. Shakuni was Dwapar Yug personified. So Kali is dog-like, Kali, Kukur is a dog of Kali. And is very difficult to control. He is practically controlling this whole world. What is Kali doing? Kali is creating wars. Kali is creating different wars. We are able to see small issues lead to big fights, court cases, and wars. If you look at court cases, there is an observation. 99% of the court cases never get solved. You have to do out of court settlement only. So movies में, TV serial में जो दिखाते वो सब मस्त नाटक है वो. It doesn't happen. Second thing, 80% of the court cases are based on land and property issues, fights based on that. And 90% of the court cases are among close relatives. Yes. Bhai, behan. That's how they fight. So who is doing all this? Kali. So Parikshit Maharaj defeated Kali and had him on his hands and knees. Marne wale the. So his karma is also very beautiful. And he rescued the Dharani and Dhenu, the cow and the bull. Dharani was the earth personified, and the bull, who's a Vrishab, what do you call it? Dharma. Dharma and Dharini. Dharma is the bull personified. So both of them, he rescued them from the beatings of the Kali. Who is so powerful? He could arrest Kali. He was about to kill Kali. So his karma, his activities are also very special. He created an atmosphere. He told Kali, Adhyarthadnita tasmai sthanani kalayo dadau yutam panam striyasuna yatra dharmas chaturvida. Yes, you can go. You can stay in my kingdom. You're also my praja. Go to the place where there is meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex. These 4 activities, you go there and stay. Kali laughed. Why are you cheating me like this? Oh Raja, you are in your country, there is no, these 4 places are not there. Can you imagine in Parikshit Maharaj's time, 4 regulative principles were followed throughout everywhere. Kali did not get a place. Then Parikshit Maharaj had to introduce one more place. Okay, you can be in that particular place where there is extra gold. Udhar jaake rahiye. So you can imagine what kind of karma, what kind of leadership he had. He was able to maintain the regulative principles in everyone. Special. Vilapanam. Vilapanam means how he got delivered. That is also special. Yes, how he got delivered, how he left this world. Samstam. Samstam is how he renounced this world. How exactly when he got a curse. That is also special. So there are so many special things about Parikshit Maharaj. Janma, karma, vilapanam, samstam. And also please understand he's connected to Pandus. Pandu Putrana. Yes. So he is very much connected in that sense. Sons of Pandus. He's connected to them also. That is also special. And the most important aspect is that if you hear these topics, Vakshe, Krishna Kathodayam. If you just talk about Parikshit, you talk about Pandavas, it is Krishna Katha only. Because Krishna is always the central theme in their life. So that is why he says, I'm going to talk about Parikshit, but this is Krishna Katha. Normally we say Krishna Katha means talking about Vrindavan Leela, Mathura Leela, Dwarka Leela, right? But you talk about Parikshit, you talk about any Panduputras, it is pure Krishna Katha. Because it is Krishna who's personally directing their lives. There's a beautiful shloka in the Bhagavad Gita first chapter where there's a meaning of this word Rishikesh. This word Rishikesh refers to Krishna, who is the controller of the senses of his devotees. And because it's Krishna's Leela only, na? So Krishna is making Parikshit defeat the Kali. Krishna is making Parikshit to be delivered. Krishna is making Parikshit to renounce. So it is whose Katha? It's Krishna Katha only. Because it's Krishna who's performing all activities. So activities of such glorious devotees, such as sons of Pandu and further their dynasty, that is as good as Krishna Katha. Got it? Okay. Prabhuji, I heard that after gambling episode of Mahabharata, many people started following Yudhishthira Maharaj and started gambling. Acha? You read in Mahabharata or you heard from someone? Television? TV? Yes. So that is what gave inspiration for casino. See, Kshatriyas, they have to accept any challenge. They can't refuse a challenge. If Kshatriya is told, come, gambling challenge, they have to accept it. Correct? So they cannot. Gambling was there. It was a very common sport. People used to do and lose a lot of money. That was obviously there. But doesn't mean that Yudhishthira Maharaj inspired Adharma. No, he is Dharmaraj. He cannot inspire Adharma. And he took part in the gambling match as a challenge. But the mistake he made was to put Draupadi at stake. And when Draupadi was going to be insulted, Krishna expected the Pandavas should give up everything and act to save her. They didn't do that. So Krishna was very angry with Pandavas. This is one episode, the gambling match episode, where Pandavas were Krishna unconscious. They were Krishna unconscious. And Krishna was very upset with the Pandavas. He was not happy. This is one episode like that. This is one place where the Pandavas make mistake. Yeah. Translation, please.
Suta Goswami thus addressed the rishis headed by Saunaka. Now I shall begin the transcendental narration of the Lord Sri Krishna and topics of the birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit, the sage amongst kings, as well as topics of the renunciation of the worldly order by the sons of Pandu.
Okay, so now from where this topic is beginning, is this topic is going to this Bhagavatam is beginning from the place where the war ended, the Mahabharat Yuddha. Where it ends, the Bhagavatam is going to start the narration from there. Yada okay, I should. Excuse me. Yada amrite kaurava srinjayanam vireshwartho viragatim gateshu vrikodara viddagada vimarsha bhagnorudande dhritarashtraputre bhartupriyam draunariti spapashyan कृष्णासुतानां स्वपतां सिरास्मि उपाहरद् विप्रियामेव तस्य जुगुप्सितं कर्म विघर्हयन्ति. Hare Krishna. So now the narration is starting. Actually, we need to understand the battle of Mahabharata took place for 18 days. And there were 18 Akshoni Senas who took part in the battle. And when the last day, first 10 days, Bhishma was the commander-in-chief. He was the Senapati. Next 5 days, Dronacharya was the Senapati. Then 2 days, Karna was the Senapati. Half day, Shalya was the Senapati. So 17 and a half. And the other second half, it was Bhima versus Duryodhana. That was the final, grand finale. The final match was Bhima versus Duryodhana. So 18 days were passed. 18th night, what happened? That is mentioned here. Yada mridhe. Mridhe means the battlefield. Yada mridhe kaurava srinjayanam. So Kaurava is party of Kauravas and Srinjayanam means the party of Pandavas. Vireshu yatha viragatim. Virgati ko prapt ho gaya. You heard this word Virgati? Wo Virgati ko prapt ho chuka hai. So Virgati is mostly Swarga. So Virgati is mostly Swarga. Why? Because anybody who takes part in the Dharma Yudh, Atova prapsasi Swargam. You die, you get Swarga. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. If you win, you will enjoy the earth. Tasmat yuddhishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nishchaya. This is what Krishna tells Arjuna. That anyway you fight, it's a win-win situation. Jeet gaya, swarg jayega. Jeet gaya to bhumi ka bhog karega. Har gaya to swarg jayega. In either case, you're winning. You're a winner. You're a victor. Yes. Vireshu ato viragatim gateshu. So many soldiers from both the parties. In fact, 17 Akshoni Senas were finished. 17 Akshoni Sena jo hai, समाप्त हो गए, खत्म हो गए. They were all finished from both Kaurava Sanjayana. Vireshu yato viragateshu. Viragatim gateshu. They went to Virgati, Swarg. Then Vrikodara. Who is Vrikodar? Vrika Udar. Who is Vrikodar? Anybody? Yes. Vrikodar is Bhima. Why is called Vrikodar? Udar means what? Stomach. Lambodar. Ganesh is called Lambodar. And Vrikodar means you can eat as much as he can. He's unlimited digestive fire. Voracious eater. Exactly. जितना हो सके खा सकता है क्योंकि भीम की जठरग्नि हमेशा जल्दी रहती है. It's always on. So in Ekachakradham, Bhim had taken all the different items for Bakasur to eat. Remember? And he only ate everything. वो खुद ही खा गया. Bakasur को पूरा एक कार्ट भर के चाहिए था और एक आदमी भी चाहिए था. That was Bakasur everyday food. And he used to eat in night. और रात को ही खाता था. Yes, रात को खाने वाले. So night canteen and all these things were inspired by these asuras. रात को खाने वाले. Nowadays night that रात को जठरग्नि नहीं रहती. Yes, रात को खाने वाले night canteens. Now people are opening. There's no jatharagni. That's why there's no digestion. And all health gets spoiled because of this. Life also reduces. Prabhupada says that. So he took that cart. He went before advance party. बहुत आगे जाके खा लिया आधा खा लिया. Bakasur got even more angry. अरे पहली बात है तू खा गया मेरे लिए मेरे खाना और वो भी आराम से बैठ के खा रहा है. And then Bhima was fighting with Bakasur. And बीच में after fight he used to throw him there and continue eating. And फिर से मारता था वो. And he used to again come and eat, and he used to beat. So he could continuously eat. What food the other 4 Pandavas put together used to eat, he used to eat that much. Uska वो regular diet, regular, first serving, they can say. So Vrikodara. So Prabhupada said you can eat nicely, no problem. But you should do Bhima Karma also. And the word Bhima came because he used to do a lot of services also. Bhima Karma Vrikodara. Bhima Karma means who performed heroic, Herculean tasks. It's called Bhima Karma. So he is known for Bhima Karma, Vrikodara. So Vrikodara, Avidha Gada, गदा के साथ मार दिया. किसको मारा? अभिमर्श भगनोरु दंडे धृतराष्ट्र पुत्रे. उस धृतराष्ट्र के पुत्र को गदा से अच्छे से मारा. अभिमर्श. And that fellow was crying. Who? Duryodhan. भगनोरु दंडे. His spinal cord was broken. उसका spinal cord तोड़ दिया उसने, भीम ने. Because that was the portion which he had covered. So Gandhari had a special vision, because as soon as she learned that her husband is going to be a blind man, she immediately wore patti around her head. Why? Because in no way she wanted to be better than her husband. She never wanted to be better than her husband. So she immediately wore the patti. And she got a benediction that if you cast your glance upon someone, that person's entire body will become Vajra. It will become metallic body. So she called Duryodhan naked, come. And then Krishna will say, what are you doing? Duryodhan, my mother called me. So are you a baby? You're 88-year-old man and you're going without clothes to meet your mother? Is it proper etiquette? What nonsense is this? I said, what should I do, Krishna? At least cover the portion which is meant to be covered. So, okay, Krishna, good idea. Thank you for good advice. Krishna, go. So with banana leaf he had covered that part, and then he went. And then Gandhari casted glance and he said, "Arey, kya kar diya tumne? Who met you on the way? Krishna, na? Krishna. Hey, this fellow only created problem. Now you're going to die. You cannot be saved." And that is the same portion where Draupadi was asked to be seated. Zara jao, baito. He asked Draupadi to come and sit. Right? So that portion, we might promised, I'm going to break your thighs. And that's what he did. And as a result, his spinal cord was broken and he was abhimarsha. He was crying there. Dhritarashtra putre. This was the time, 18th day. Then what happened? Bhartu priyam drauniriti sma pashyan. Drauni means son of Dronacharya. Who is that? Ashwathama. What did he do? Bhartu priyam. He decided, Ari, ye ro raha hai Duryodhan, abhimarsha. He's lamenting. He's crying. I have to please this person. Yes, so his goal was to please Duryodhan. Bhartu priyam. But Duryodhan is my master. He's my friend. He's my leader. Bhartu priyam. So I will please him. How? So Draunir itisma pashyan Krishna sutana. Another name of Draupadi is Krishna. Draupadi was a black beauty. She was dark skinned. She was not fair skinned. Draupadi is black. Arjuna is also black. Arjuna's another name is Krishna, because he was also dark. Yes, so Draupadi was blackish beauty. So Krishna Sutana. So all the children of Draupadi, one child she had got from each Pandavas. One Pandava she had got one child. Right? So Swapatnam, when they swapna dekh rahe the, so rahe the, what did Ashwatthama do? Siranam upaharad. Siranam upaharad. He cut their sir. So he cut their heads while they were sleeping. And upaharad, upahar diya. Kisko? Duryodhan ko. Please take it. And was Duryodhan happy? Vipriyam eva tasya. He was not at all happy. He became very angry. Jugupsitam karma vigharyanti. He told, you have performed an abominable activity. Ekdam ghatiya kaam kiya tumne. Because Duryodhan saw, he touched the heads. First of all, Duryodhan was very happy. Arey wah, Ashwathama, I never knew you were such a heroic, you were brave. But you are proven to be your father's son. You are so brave. Dikhao, Pandav ke sir laaye ho, dikhao. And he also thought a Pandav ki sir hai. But moment he touched, hey, what is this? This looks like some chota bacha ka face. Pandavas are very strong. बहुत ताकतवर है ये लोग. ये तो बच्चे लोगों का चेहरा लग रहा है. It's so soft and tender. Hey, tell me honestly, who are they? And he said, yes, they're Pandavas. No, they're not Pandavas. They're their children. I have touched everyone's body. I have touched Bhima's body also. I know his strength. They are surely Pandavas' children. They are not Pandavas. And how did you kill them? He said, they were all sleeping. That time I cut their Gupsitam karma. Abominable activity you performed. एकदम जघन्य अपराध किया तुमने. Like that, he became very upset. Actually, what happened? The entire one Akshovini Sena was, so Pandavas along with their one Akshovini Sena remained. So Krupacharya, Ashwathama, and Yudhana, these three soldiers, what they did, they thought that Bhima has beaten Duryodhana unlawful manner. Chal karke kiya hai. Of course, there was no chal. Duryodhana jumped and Bhima hit his thighs. And thus he killed him. Correct. But they thought that he has done injustice, so we'll also do injustice. So they killed the entire one Akshoni Sena of Pandavas when they were sleeping. In that course, Ashwathama said, I will personally kill the 5 Pandavas. But what had happened was, Krishna told the 5 Pandavas, you come, we'll sleep outside today. Jeet gaye na, we won the war. We'll sleep out. Bahar sote hain. We'll sleep under not 5-star hotel. We'll sleep under multi-star hotel. इतना सारे stars है उसके नीचे सोएंगे. Multi-star hotel में सोएंगे. So he went and slept there. So they were not in the tent. So who were in the tent were the sons of Draupadi from each Pandava. And they looked exactly like the Pandavas, but they were not as strong as the Pandavas. So you could touch and find, अरे तो बच्चों का उठा के लाके तुम. They are children. So he was not happy. Yes. Translation?
When the respective warriors of both camps, namely the Kauravas and the Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the dead warriors obtained their deserved destinations, and when the son of Dhritarashtra fell down lamenting, his spine broken, being beaten by the club of Bhimasen, the son of Dronacharya, Ashwathama beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered the heads as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana, however, disapproved of this heinous act, and he was not pleased in
Not happy. See, even Duryodhana was not happy with this. Arey, what have you done? So it was a very, very pathetic act. Now see what happens. Mata Shishunam Nidhanam Sutanam Nishamya Ghoram Paritapyamana Tadarudadvakvashpakala Kulakshi Tam Santavyanaha Kiritamali. Next day, Mata, that is Draupadi, Shishunam Nidhanam, she saw that her sons were dead. Sutanam, all her children, 5 children are dead. Mata Shishunam Nidhanam Sutanam. When she came looking for her children, she found that the children are dead. So, Nishamya Ghoram Paritapya. Yes. So we could hear, as soon as she heard of this activity that her children are no more there, Ghoram Paritapya, she was lamenting and crying very pitifully. जोर जोर से रो रही थी. Just crying and crying. Tada, at that time, Arudat began to cry. Vashpakala Akuli Akshi. So there were tears flowing out from her eyes. So to Kiritamali is Arjuna. Arjuna is called Kiriti or Kiritamali. Both are his names. That's the name of Arjuna again. So Kiritamali, he came and he started Santavya. Santavya dena shuru kiya. He started pacifying her. Yes, don't cry. I will speak. I'll speak something.
Draupadi, the mother of the 5 children of the Pandavas, after hearing of the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress with eyes full of tears, trying to pacify her in her great loss. Arjuna spoke to her thus.
So let's see what Arjuna is speaking. Tada shuchaste parimrijjami bhadre yad brahma bandho shira atatainah Gandiva muktair vishikair upahare Tvakramya yatsnyayasi dagda putra. So how is Arjuna pacifying her? See what Arjuna says. See, I am not wiping your tears right now. मैं आपका आंखों के जो आंसू है अभी नहीं पहुंचूंगा. No. तदा शुचस. शुच is शोक प्रकट किया हुआ आंसू. That time only te parimrajami. I will wipe out. Hey Bhadre, O gentle lady, I will wipe your tears. Pramajrami. When? Yad Brahma Bandho Shira Atatainah. That Brahma Bandhu is, see, Brahma is Brahmana. Brahma Bandhu means he is a relative of Brahmana, but not having any good qualities as Brahmana. It's called Brahma Bandhu. Similarly, there's something called Shatra Bandhu also. A person may be a Kshatriya, but not having any qualities of Kshatriya is called Shatra Bandhu. Brahma Bandhu, Shatra Bandhu. So these are the different names given. Dvija Bandhu. Yes. So we all have to be Brahma, not Brahma Bandhu. Brahma Bandhu means a namesake Brahmana. What day? That fellow has no qualities. Yes. So this Ashwathama is unfit to be called as Brahmana because he has completely behaved against the religious principles. Adharm jaisa vyavahar kiya usne. He is a Atataina. Atatai means what? Atatai means aggressor. An aggressor should be killed. Prabhupada also describes in Bhagavad Gita 6 types of Atataina. Aggressor. First, one who delivers poison to others. Second, who sets fire to others' houses. Third, who attacks with deadly weapons. Fourth, who steals others' wealth. Fifth, who usurps others' land. And sixth is one who kills while the enemy is sleeping, attacks from behind. Dvija Bandhu. Dvija means somebody is twice born. Anybody having a guru is called Dvija. Dvija, uska do janma hua hai. First janma is by parents. Prati janme pita mata pai. And everyone has mother and father. That is the first birth. The second birth is when guru gives. By hearing. By hearing the mantra we get from guru. That's called, such a person called Dvija. And Dvija usually refers to anyone having sacred thread is called Dvija. And a person may have sacred thread, but he doesn't behave properly, not following Shastras, not listening to Guru. Such person becomes Dvija Bandhu. That means his namesake Dvija. He's a relative of a Dvija. Okay. So Brahma Bandhu Shira, the head of that Brahma Bandhu, that Atatainaha, that aggressor, Gandiva Muktair. I'm going to release my arrows from Gandiva. Yes, I'm going to shoot arrows at him. Vishikhair. I'll shoot arrows and Upahar. He wanted to give Upahar, na? I am going to give Upahar to you. I'll give you gift. Yes, I'll give you gift. What gift? I'll give you the head of that Brahman, that Brahma Bandhu. And what you should do? Twa akramya. You stand on it. Us head ke upar khadi raho. And on that, yat snyasasi. You take your bath. Yes. And then you can burn your sons. Dagda Putra. Yes. After burning your sons' bodies, then you stand on it and take bath. First you burn your after. Dagda Putra. That means what? First you will burn. We have to burn. See, whenever some death happens, if the death happens in the night, before the sunrise, you should burn the body. Antyeshti should be performed before the body, before the sunrise. And somebody dies in the morning, then before the sunset, you should perform the Antyeshti. So now they found out in the early morning. So मैं अब भी लेके आता हूँ उसको. And you can stand and you can perform. That is considered auspicious. Somebody dies in the night, before sunrise you should do. And somebody in the morning and before sunset. That's the regulation. So तुम पहले करो. We'll burn the bodies of your son and then you stand on his head, akramya, and take bath with my gift. Baapre. This is how Kshatriyas, they take challenges. These are the words by which Arjuna pacified Draupadi. Translation.
O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahmana, after beheading him with arrows from my Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then, after burning your sons' bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head.
After visiting crematorium, everyone has to take bath. That's a norm. You make Ashwatthama's head ke upar khada hoke na. Dangerous. Can you even imagine this scene? Imagine there's a small finger that is there. Cut our finger. How you'll feel? डर जाएंगे एकदम. You'll be scared. That is kata hua sir. You have to stand on that. Seeing also is such abominable. But Arjuna is telling, मैं काट के लेके आऊंगा, and I'll present you as gift. My God. So angry was Arjuna. Next. इति प्रियामल्गु विचित्र जल्पै ससन्तवायिच्चाच्युत मित्रसूत अन्वाद्रवद्दं शित उग्रधन्वा कपिध्वजो गुरुपुत्रं रथेन. So thus, iti, thus, इसके बाद प्रियम मल्गु. Yes, प्रियम मल्गु विचित्र जल्पै. जल्पै means statements or jalpa. Jalpa means बात करना. उसको जल्प कहते हैं. And prajalp means talking nonsense. That's called prajalpa. Jalpa means to talk. And prajalp is something we should not do. So Priyam, he spoke in a very, very dear manner unto his Priyam, his dear wife. Valgu, they were very sweet words. Yes, Vichitraihi, they were very special and variety of words he spoke. Different words like this he spoke. And Saha Santayitva, he could pacify her. So he pacified her, she stopped crying. Sa Santayitva Achyuta Mitra Suta. So understand, war is not yet over. So Krishna had promised Arjuna that he will be his Suta. Suta means charioteer. And what kind of charioteer Arjuna has? Achyuta, infallible Lord. Although he may be a charioteer, but still he is never to be considered as a Suta. He is Achyuta only. And he is friend of Krishna, Arjuna also. Friend and driver. Achyuta Mitra. Just like Krishna says, Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. You are my devotee and friend. So Arjuna is saying, you are my friend and my charioteer, both. You have to guide my path. Say Achyuta. So Anvadravat, he started follow him. So Krishna started following Ashwatthama's chariot. Yes. Ugra Dhanva. Ugra Dhanva means he had Arjuna carried all varieties of weapons. He was equipped. And Damshita, he was protected by armor also. He had a shield, Dhal. He was wearing the Dhal. And also Ugra Dhanva. He had all varieties of very, very furious weapons. And he had his flag called Kapidwaja. Actually, Kapidwaja is Arjuna. A person who has the flag of Kapi. Kapi is Hanuman. Hanuman means emblem of victory. Wherever there is Hanuman, wherever there is Ram, wherever there is Sita, there has to be victory. So on the flag, Hanuman was present. Hanuman said, I will always be there with you, Arjuna. So he was there on the flag of Krishna, of Arjuna and Krishna. And Krishna, Ram himself is there. And Lakshmi or Sita is there in the form of Srivatsa Chinna on the chest. On the chest of the Lord, as a golden hair, Lakshmi ji is present. So thus Lakshmi, Ram, Hanuman, all three were there. Sure shot victory against evil and Ravana. That is sure. So Kapidwajo Guru Putram Rathena started following. Yes, Anvadravat Guru Putram Rathena. So he started following his Guru Putra. Now actually the Guru of Pandavas is Dhaumya Rishi. He was their spiritual master. And Kulu Guru who performed all the rituals was Kripacharya. And Dronacharya was a martial arts teacher. Yes, martial teacher. So Dronacharya is the martial arts teacher. So martial teacher, Guru Putram Rathena. So he started going behind the Rath of his Guru Putra. This is what is mentioned here. Translation.
Arjuna, who is guided by the infallible Lord as friend and drivers, thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons, and getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Ashwatthama, the son of his martial teacher.
Thank you. Next book. तम्मापन्तं सविलक्ष्य दूरात् कुमारहोद्विग्नमनारथेन पराद्रवत् प्राणपरिप्सुरुर्यां यावद्गमं रुद्रभयाद् यथाकः. Hare Krishna. So now what happened was tam apantam saha vilakshya. Ashwatthama saw, vilakshya, he saw. Tam apantam sa. Arjuna is coming very, very furiously towards him. Apantam. Apantatam. Very, very vigorously he is charging towards Ashwatthama. पूरे speed में आ रहे हैं, पूरे गुस्से के साथ आ रहे हैं, and he is very angry and he is very determined. दूर से देख पा, दूरात, from great distance only you could see that Arjuna is coming. अरे अर्जुन आ रहा है, कृष्णा अर्जुन साथ में आ रहे हैं, मेरी मौत आ रही है, my death is coming. Yes. So Kumaraha, here Ashwatthama is not called as Ashwatthama or Guru Putra, he is called as Kumaraha. Ha means hatya karne wala. Kiska? Kumaron ka. Who killed the children. Yes, who killed the Kumaraha. So what happened to Kumaraha? Udvignamana. His mind was completely disturbed. See, a person who performs sinful activities, his mind will be disturbed. A thief, a sinful person, a person who's an offender, such kind of mind will be always disturbed. They can never be peaceful in their mind. On the other hand, Arjuna, he was determined. He was with Krishna, and what activity he is doing is purely dharma. He was absolutely determined, you see. So this is a difference between a person who is sinner and a person who is virtuous. So Kumaraha Udvignamana, his mind was completely disturbed. Yes. Rathena Paradvavat. So he fled. He took his ratha and again started running. Paradravat. Palayan kar raha tha. He was running away. Prana paripsuhu. मेरे प्राण को रक्षण करने के लिए, to protect his prana. Somehow or the other I have to save myself. Urvyam, he tried his best speed, पूरे गति के साथ. Urvyam, with full speed, he wanted to go ahead to protect prana. Yes, self-preservation is the first law. But one thing we need to understand, we understand in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, there is a pastime of Trinavarta. Trinavarta's pastime. So Trinavarta, he is a person who is sin personified. And Trinavarta takes Krishna and goes up in the air. And then what happens? And then he comes down with full force. He falls down. With full force, he lands and falls down. So Acharya has explained the commentary that Trinavarta is sin personified and his own sins knock him down. His own sins drag him down. Similarly, Ashwatthama is going to be treated very badly. He is going to be chastised by his own sinful activities. Yes, उसका ही पाप उसको जो है अच्छे से धुलाई करने वाला है, उसका पिटाई करने वाला है. So यावद गमम रुद्र भयाद यथाखा. So once what had happened, where that Brahma had fled in fear of Shiva in the past, in one past time. We are going to see that past time later. Rudra Bhayad Yatha Kaha means Brahma. And Rudra Bhayad, he got fearful of Rudra coming towards him. So Brahma started running away from Rudra. This past time happened once. Yes. So this particular past time had happened. Yavad Gamam Rudra Bhayat Yathakha. Just as Brahmaji ran away from Shiva after committing one aparadh. He had done one aparadh. So similarly, this aparadhi of Ashwatthama started running away from Shiva. जिसने अपराध नहीं किया, पाप नहीं किया, उसको कहीं भागने की जरूरत नहीं. Such a person need not fear anything. Just like, for example, somebody is a thief. The moment ambulance sound will come, he'll think, अरे पुलिस आ गया, पुलिस पुलिस पुलिस. एम्बुलेंस का साउंड सुन के पुलिस का साउंड आएगा. उसका एम्बुलेंस का सायरन देखेगा, उसको लगेगा अरे पुलिस पुलिस आ रहा है, मेरे को मारने आ रहा है, प्लीज सेव मी. He'll start running away. He sees khaki. Khaki कौन कौन पहनता है? ऑटो ड्राइवर भी पहनते हैं. Yes, bus conductor, all these people wear khaki dress. वो देख के भाग जाएगा वो. He'll be fearful of that only. Yavad kamam, running away. Yeah. Somebody?
Ashwatthama, the murderer of the princess, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with a great speed, fled in his chariot, panic-stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva.
Brahma had created Vak Devi. Vak Devi is Saraswati, the Lordess of speech, Vak. Vachika ki Devi. And what had happened was he got attracted to her only. Yes, this is like a father getting attracted to his own daughter, and he wanted to enjoy with her, get married to her. That time Shiva became very angry and he charged towards Brahma with his Trishul. Hey Brahma, can you do this? And that time Brahma had to run away. It really ran away. So this is the episode which is mentioned here. Yes. We'll discuss one more shloka, that will complete our 10 shlokas. Yada sharanam atmanam aikshata shrantavajinam astram brahma shiro mene atmatranam dvijatmajah. Okay. Yada asharanam, he understood. Abhi mera koi I can't basically get sharan anywhere. Nobody's protecting me. Nobody's taking care of me. Yada asharanam atmanam. He understood that now I am cornered. I am trapped. मैं फंस चुका हूँ. Aikshata. He also saw one more thing. Shranta Vajinam. His horses had become tired. Arey itna humko दौड़ाया. हम थक गए. Even horses get tired. It's not that chariot. Chalo, chalo, chalo. You can't keep doing that. Horses get tired. You have to give water to the horses. You have to take care of horses. Yes, you have to clean the horses, bathe the horses. All this is important. So he saw the Shranta Vajinam. His horses also became tired. Astram Brahma Shiro Mene. So now he understood, Arey mere ko ek astra. I have to invoke an astra. What astra? Brahma astra. Brahma astra. Yes, and this is ultimate. Shiro. Shira means head, and Shira means head of all the astras. What is the difference between Shastra and Astra? Shastra is a physical weapon, like sword, lances, clubs, discs, and bow and arrow. They are all called Shastras. And Astras are those things which are invoked by mantra. Through mantra, you invoke that, they are called as Astra. So, Astram Brahma Shiro, the head of all the Astras, the best of all Astras, is Brahmastra. So, Mene, he applied for it. And Atmatranam. So, in order to save himself, apne aap ko raksha karne ke liye Atmatranam, because he found no other way. Asharanam. So this again here also he's called as Dvijatmanaha. He is not called as Dvija, he's called as Dvija Atmaja, the son of a Brahman. He is not a Brahman, he's a son of a Brahman. Brahman ka beta. Not behave like a Brahman. Because Brahmastra should not be, he had knowledge of Brahmastra. But this is misapplication of Brahmastra. Brahmastra should be released in not under such circumstances. There are some circumstances under which you should release the Brahmastra. Because otherwise Brahmastra can even destroy the universe. It's a nuclear weapon. Yes, it should not be released. Just like that. There are time, place, circumstances even for using an astra. So here it clearly shows that Aswathama did not know how to use his power. So power in the hands of a person without character is very detrimental, dangerous. Yes, very, very dangerous. So Ashwathama had power, he had weapons. And what did he do with the weapons? He misused it by slaughtering the innocent sons of the Pandavas. And now he knew the knowledge of Brahmastra. That is why he is now again misusing it. In fact, more than Shastra in the hands of an improper person, Astra in the hands of improper person is more, it's more damaging. Who damages the society? It is the intelligent culprits who damage the society more than the foolish ones. Yeah, intellectual. दिमाग वाले चोर जो है ज्यादा damage करते हैं, है ना? दिमाग वाले चोर. And this is what is happening here. He's misusing his, first of all, he misused his power. Now he's misusing his knowledge. So in both the cases, it's clearly proven that Ashwathama did not deserve to be a Brahmana because he doesn't know proper application. So it is not just good enough to know. It is not just good enough to possess. It is very important to know how to use and when to use things. Under what circumstances. So Ashwathama lacked this qualification. Translation.
When the son of Brahmana, Ashwathama, saw that his horses were tired, he considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra. It's a nuclear weapon.
Exactly. So now Ashwatthama is going to release the Brahmastra. अब क्या होगा? What will happen? That we'll find out next week. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There's a question, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we know there would be turbulences any moments in this world. So is it we pray to Krishna to show us only good time or hard time so we can be more tougher to deal with the situations? We have to pray to Krishna to give us the strength to face any situation. We should pray to Krishna to give us the opportunity, because Krishna is ultimately the provider of all opportunities. He's called Samanjasa. Samanjasa he virahiyya kankshir. So Krishna should be, give us the opportunity to remain Krishna conscious. See, we cannot change the nature of this world. This world is dukhalayam ashashvatam. Ye to badal nahi sakte. But what we can change is our consciousness. And we can try our best to change the consciousness of people around us through preaching. So consciousness is something which can be changed. Conditions is something which cannot be changed. Okay? Yes, Priya Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभु जी, मेरे दो क्वेश्चन है। आपने जो कहा था कि ऋषिकेश मतलब सेंस का कंट्रोल करते हैं, तो ऐसे माधव क्यों कहते हैं? और सेकंड क्वेश्चन है कि
क्वेश्चन एट अ टाइम प्लीज। माधव, मा इज लक्ष्मी एंड धव मीन्स जो लक्ष्मी को, लक्ष्मी के साथ है, उनके कंट्रोल करते हैं, उनको शेल्टर देते हैं, प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं, यानी कि पति। सो माधव, माँ के पति, लक्ष्मी माँ के जो पति है, इट्स कॉल्ड माधव, हस्बैंड ऑफ गॉडेस ऑफ फॉर्च्यून।
और सेकंड क्वेश्चन है प्रभु जी, कोई भी हो पिता, वो अपनों से ज्यादा बच्चे को प्यार करते हैं। और जब पांडव वनवास में चले गए थे, तब द्रौपदी के बच्चे उनके मामा के या मतलब कृष्ण भगवान के इधर रहते थे। तो भगवान ने ऐसे क्यों किया कि उनके बच्चों को बचाने की जगह उनको मारने के लिए मतलब भेज दिए कि उधर सो जा, इधर।
भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने उनको मारा नहीं,
उनको नहीं मारा, मगर ऐसी कर्म क्यों किए कि पांडवों की जगह बाहर लेके गए वो, और उनके टेंट में बच्चों को सुला दिया, क्योंकि बच्चे तो प्यारे रहते सभी को।
आपको पढ़ना है क्या? इसका ट्रांसलेशन पढ़िए।
O king, no one can know the plan of the Lord Sri Krishna, even though great philosopher inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered.
हरे कृष्ण, आपको आंसर मिल गया? तो सच थिंग्स यही आंसर है। भगवान कुछ चीजें क्यों करते हैं हमें पता नहीं होता, लेकिन उसके पीछे बहुत गहरा कारण होता है जो वही जानते हैं। दिस इज द आंसर टू मेनी क्वेश्चंस। हम लोग जितना भी सोचे, दिमाग घुमाए, split hair, we need to understand that Lord, what he plans is something which will have an everlasting effect later on, and we don't know the reason behind it. अभिमन्यु को बचा सकते थे, बहुत लोग बोलते हैं, there are many points, अभिमन्यु को क्यों नहीं बचाया, 5 पांडवों को क्यों नहीं बचाया, अरे सबको क्यों नहीं बचाया, जितने भले लोग थे उनको क्यों नहीं बचाया। देखो, बचाना और मारना हमारे हिसाब से एक बुरा है, एक अच्छा है, बट इफ यू सी व्हाट हैपेंड टू एवरीबॉडी ऑन द बैटलफील्ड ऑफ कुरुक्षेत्र, ये भी दिया हुआ है, आपको बता दो। तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीर यद आहवे कृष्ण मुखारविंदम नेत्रे पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूत पदमापुरस्य। तो ऐसे कहा गया है, इट इज टोल्ड दैट एवरीबडी हु डाइड ऑन द बैटलफील्ड ऑफ कुरुक्षेत्र being shot by Arjuna's arrows and who drank the beauty of Krishna, they all went back to God. So अच्छा बुरा, that is our conception, हम लोग दे रहे हैं, हमारी दृष्टि से मत देखिए। According to Krishna's drishti, we don't know what is अच्छा बुरा. So anything connected to Krishna is always good. उनका गति अच्छा ही होगा. That's clarified in the scriptures. सबका अच्छा गति ही हुआ है, किसी का दुर्गति नहीं हुआ. Okay?
Okay, प्रभु जी, और एक क्वेश्चन पूछ रही हूँ।
हाँ.
कृष्ण भगवान हम लोग बोलते हैं कि काले हैं, मगर गोलोका में तो उनका वर्ण इतना सुंदर किया है, काला कलर तो कोई रिफ्लेक्शन नहीं करता है, तो उनके इससे कांति क्यों निकलती है फिर इतनी सारी, कि उसकी वजह से
अगेन काला मतलब आप इस दुनिया का मत सोचिए। हम मोमेंट प्रभुपाद ने कहा कृष्णा इज ब्लैक अफ्रीका में, तो सब लोग ताली मार के सीटी बजाने लग गए. प्रभुपाद बोला नॉट लाइक यू, ही इज ब्लैक बट ही इज नॉट लाइक यू, ही इज ब्यूटीफुल, ही श्याम सुंदर. So black is the closest color we can describe Krishna, but he is bluish black. There is no color which can describe Krishna's skin. But he is beautiful. Don't worry. ऐसा नहीं कि black मतलब क्या है, कांति नहीं है, ये नहीं है. No, he is beautiful. That when you see him, you will realize. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I am wondering, teacher Drone didn't give proper knowledge to his own son. No, it's not like that. Drone gave proper knowledge, but because of bad association, that is the root cause of all sinful activities. There are some fellows, even how much ever you teach, they will not change. Duryodhan and party. कितना भी सिखाओ ये लोग नहीं सुधरेंगे. That is called villain party. And anyone who associates with them also becomes the. Karna was a good man, but he associated with the wrong party. Thus, he is also called one of the dushtas. Same way, Ashwatthama associated wrongly. गलत association के कारण he also became fallen in his. So bad association is the root cause of all bad qualities. And whatever teacher, whatever teaching you give and all, once kitna bhi shiksha de, how much ever we try our level best to impart education, knowledge, if the association is bad, it's useless. That is why we need to have good association also. I have also seen many of my students, till the time they come to center, stay and practice bhakti, they're staying outside, how much ever knowledge you give, nahi koi change nahi aayega, because the bad association is still there. Yeah, on the other hand, when the association becomes healthy and good, automatically leaps and bounds one will advance in bhakti. So it's all about association. Okay, attraction, attention. Lecture still remaining. Okay, I'll take a workshop on that. Take a workshop later. Maybe one of those special occasions, something like that. You can remind me. We'll plan that date. Okay. Thank you. We'll end here. It's 5:30. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sundar Nand Mukund ki jai. Okay. Krishna is called Madhusudan, killer of ignorance. Madhu, correct.